If you are Israel, and if you are in Messiah, you are. There is more to you than what most people realize, maybe even yourself. Hi, this is Barry Phillips with 10-Minute Torah, Day 5 of the Torah portion, Toldot, Generations. Let's go to Genesis, Bereshit, chapter 27, and let's start with verse 30. And it came to be, as soon as Yitzhak had finished blessing Yaakov, and Yaakov had hardly left the presence of Yitzhak his father, that Esau his brother came in from his hunting. And he too had made a tasty dish and brought it to his father, and he said to his father, Let my father rise and eat of his son's wild game, so that your being might bless me. And his father Yitzhak said to him, Who are you? He said, I am your son, your firstborn, Esau. Then Yitzhak trembled exceedingly and said, Who was it then who hunted wild game and brought it to me? And I ate of it before you came, and I have blessed him. Yes, he is blessed. The storyline of this 27th chapter has been the grounds for a lot of debate. Is Yaakov justified in his deceptions in order to obtain the blessing? Would Yah have caused Esau to fail in his hunt? If Yaakov and Rivkah had not undertaken their plan, is there a curse on Rivkah for aiding and abetting Yaakov to lie and deceive his father? Was Yitzhak oblivious to Esau and to his real character, since he was, at this point, it would seem, blind, depressed enough to think he's going to die? A lot of questions, a lot of intrigue that is going on here. What I find interesting is a couple of things I want to point out today. One is this tasty dish. It's translated in the King James as savory. In our translation here at the scriptures, it's tasty. It is, according to the theological word book of the Old Testament, it is mat'am, and it means to try or to evaluate with the tongue. Primarily, that's its primary meaning. And there's three different applications according to this. First is the act of eating food, which is the inclusion of the normal process of tasting. Blind taste tests. Maybe you've seen that done or participated in that, where something's placed in your mouth and you need to tell, what is that? We all have our favorite flavors. Some people like it sweet, some salty, some spicy, etc. So there are certain flavors that we're catering to in our appetites and our palate that that's what we prefer. Then there is the function of ears, testing the words. Evaluating what you're hearing. And then there is a final meaning, the idea of evaluation and decision, that is perception, and it lends to the idea of discernment. So there may be more to the idea of the tasty dish other than Yitzhak just saying, bring me what I like and I'll give you a blessing. It could be that hidden in the meaning of this tasty, savory dish is the idea that as his taste buds are evaluating, his spirit is also rising up to discern. The issue, then, we would see, is that he failed to discern appropriately exactly who was in the tent with him. That is, he failed to see through the deception. So we have the ideas of discernment and the idea of deception. When we think we are discerning, sometimes we're just looking at what surface level facts are laid before us, and we think we know the whole story, and therefore we just plot ahead with whatever evaluation that we're making surface level. The Ruach HaKodesh, however, rises up in us and says, see some red flags. Everything is not as it seems. Everything is not what you think you're hearing. There's some deception that's going on. Maybe you need to think about this, pray about this, ponder on this. Maybe you need to seek some counsel on this. It could be that there's more going on than what you think. Then we come to this thing where I have become intrigued in reading this, and that is that Yitzhak trembled exceedingly. He trembled exceedingly. The Hebrew here is the word chared, and or harad, maybe another pronunciation, and it means to tremble exceedingly, to be terrified. What was it that he was so shaken by? I can offer you my thought. And here's my thought on this. When he realized that it was Yaakov who came in to receive this particular blessing, which includes the dew of the heavens, the fatness of the earth, plenty of grain and wine, that is, that you would be substantially and abundantly blessed in the things that will make for good life. Then it says, let peoples serve you and nations bow down to you. Be master over your brothers and let your mother's sons bow down to you. Cursed be those cursing you, and blessed be those blessing you. Now that we're going back then to the blessing that was given in chapter 12 to Abraham. That is, that the nations of the earth would be situated, even sifted and evaluated, here we go again, according to their treatment of Abraham and his descendants. My thought is that Yitzhak had preferred Esau for this blessing, not just because he was maybe daddy's boy, as Yaakov may have been mama's boy, as a general reading could suggest, but also that he felt that Esau was the most capable of carrying out the benefits and the requirements of this blessing. Thinking of Esau's brawn and his strength and his ruggedness, his ability to be in the field, maybe his skill with his weapons, thinking it's going to take a powerful person. Maybe, perhaps, in his spirit, he was seeing his descendants that would face opposing forces, as Abraham was already prophesied to. Your descendants are going down into Mitzrayim, into Egypt, and they're going to be in bondage there. Perhaps he thought it's going to take an Esau quality people to get out of there. They're going to need to muscle up. So when he realized that Yaakov, a different caliber, quality, and style of person altogether, had come in and taken the blessing, oh no, not Yaakov. It's not that he hated Yaakov. It's not that he didn't admire Yaakov for his quality and his traits. He's not up to the task, perhaps, in Yitzhak's opinion. He'll never make it out of Mitzrayim. But it's not the brawn or the ruggedness of Esau, but it is the heart, the passion, and the voice of Yaakov that brings about a quality of people who will overcome. Shabbat Shalom to all of you. May the favor and the blessing, the presence of the King be with you during this Shabbat. Thank you for all of those that are commenting, for those that are subscribing. We're almost at 1,000 subscribers, so if you haven't subscribed, maybe consider doing so. Thank you for your love, your support, your comments, and we'll see you again next week. Until then, Shabbat Shalom.